Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yeshamar from the GMS Atlanta camp. Before I get into this message, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakwakadash. I want to send double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom rule and teach well. Um, this, I'm hoping is going to be the last message I put together for, in relation to the election. Let's get Jeremiah 10, okay? Oh, slug. Says, matter of fact, let's get Jeremiah 10 in the NLT. It says, "Hear the word that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai speaks to you, Yasharallah. This is what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai says. Do not act like the other nations who try to read their future in the stars. Do not be afraid of their predictions, even though other nations are terrified by them." Right. So right now that Donald won the election, right? There's we have people on both sides, kind of freaking out about what's going to happen, what this means, and I mean, rightfully so. But at the end of the day, if you are of the elect, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has you sealed. There is nothing, there is no Kamala, there is no Donald that is going to take you away from your purpose that has been predestined since the foundation of time, according to Ephesians 1 and 4. Right? So though we are called to be circumspect, we are not to fear these people. I'm a northern tribe, and this man's supposed to be coming down heavy, but I've got no fear in it. It is what it is. There isn't nothing gonna happen that wasn't supposed to happen. We don't serve a reactionary power. We serve the author of our salvation. He's already written the story. So while all these people are screaming that the sky is falling, we have wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our time even now. So verse 3 says, "Their ways are futile and foolish. They cut down a tree, and a craftsman carves an idol." Now, I went into this in my last message, and we read this, and it's very easy to interpret the idol here, but let's apply the idol to a man. Matter of fact, let's stop here. No, let's get one more verse. "They decorate it with gold and silver, and then fasten it securely with hammer and nail so it won't fall over." And that's exactly what they've done with Kamala and Trump. They pushed ads, and they overlaid those trees, because the Most High likens people unto trees. They overlaid those trees with precious metals. They overlaid those plates with gold and silver. They put this idol in front of you and said, "This is who you should choose to rule over you. This is who your taskmaster should be, man." But see, we're not called to have a taskmaster. We have one power, and that's Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. It's verse 3. Their gods, Trump and Kamala, their gods are like helpless scarecrows in a cucumber field. They cannot speak, and they need to be carried because they cannot walk. Now, obviously, these people can speak, but there is no wisdom. Their mouth is full of dead. They are the wicked, especially Donald. Here it's talking about idols, being inanimate objects, but fuck it, he's got no wisdom. Scripture says that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai confounds the wise, man. So it don't matter what kind of Ivy school he went to. It don't matter, his smartness that he used to dodge the draft during the Vietnam times. It doesn't matter about that, man. He cannot walk. He cannot do anything on his own. Romans 13, if I'm not mistaken, says all power. Matter of fact, let's get that, man. I'm saying these verses, and I've got them by memory, but let's go ahead and bring it out. This is Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. That's why He sets the bounds, man. He sets the bounds. Donald Trump cannot walk. He might as well be an inanimate object. He cannot walk. For they can neither harm you nor do you any good. Right. Psalm 91. You know. Let's get that. He cannot harm you. Why? Because we are under the protection of the Most High. Let's get that. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow, the protection of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, He is my refuge and my fortress, my protection, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And there is a lot of pestilence going on right now, right? Everybody doesn't know. People don't know what to do, right? I'm not going to get all of Jeremiah 10, but just parts of it, and then I'm going to let's go and parallel that, because we're talking about these idols, right? And really these people are idols, man. You have people who think their world is done, or people who think it's a whole new world, like the Little Mermaid, man, because Donald Trump won, man. And all because of their idols. They think that their idol, these inanimate people that cannot walk and cannot talk, because there is no wisdom in them, there is no life in them. They think that these people are going to somehow change their life. Like somehow Donald Trump winning is not going to change what the scriptures say, man. You're sadly mistaken. I couldn't help but to go into elections in the Roman Republic, and it's amazing the parallels here, all right? It says, elections in the Roman Republic were an essential part of its governance, with participation only being afforded to Roman citizens. Now, stop. Okay, so now, when you are a citizen, what are some responsibilities that a citizen has? Well, first, let's start off with the gifts, I guess, endowed unto you as a citizen. All right, let's take for America here. Okay, as a citizen of America, you have your so-called Bill of Rights, right? Those are your gifts, but along with those gifts come a responsibility. Now, so what are some responsibilities of being a citizen? Well, one of those is that if your government calls upon you, you have to go to war, through the draft or through volunteering, right? So there are gifts that come with being a citizen, but there are also requirements that come with being a citizen, right? So it says, with participation only being afforded to Roman citizens, man. So the participation of a Roman citizen in the election, you are now endowing yourself, because if you're a partaker of the blessing of being a Roman citizen, you're also going to be a partaker of the responsibility. More so, you're going to be a partaker of the debt that this New Age Rome has to pay. See, the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra, man, meaning that there is a debt that the new Rome, Babylon, has to pay off, and the only way to pay that debt off is with blood. Yahweh Shai is coming back in a fathership to slaughter you guys, and if you are one of his citizens who partook in his elections, you're going to be right there with them, man. You're going for the ride too, man. Upper class interest. Now check this out. So now we're going to get into the parallels here. It says upper class interest centered in the urban political environment of the cities. So I guess the 1% or the elite, says often trumped the concerns of the diverse and disunified lower class, right? So whatever the people here in the Roman elections, whatever the rich people wanted, trumped what the poor people wanted. And is that not exactly what's going on, right? Through all the lobbying, all the money that Donald Trump raised, this time he didn't raise it on his own. The first time he raised, the first time of his election, he campaigned using his own funds. If you guys can remember that, and that was his main selling point: is I'm not bought and paid for. I'm using all of my money. Okay, well that's good, but now what? Now he is bought and paid for by his own words. If you hold him to account by his own words, he is now bought and paid for because he was fundraising hundreds of millions of dollars. You don't think he owes those people debts? You don't think that those people who funded this man's campaign are going to be calling in favors? It's amazing to see the parallels here because again, this is the new Rome. We are still in the fourth beast mentioned in Daniel 7. You know, this is the Roman Empire. This is the rebirth Roman Empire. Let's continue on. While at times the people already in power would pre-select candidates for office, further reducing the value of the voters' input. I mean, I read this, I started laughing because I'm like, they're still doing this shit, and it's funny, but it's like, there was a famous movie back in, it's not too famous, I guess, early 2000s with Eddie Griffin and that one Orlando Bloom or Orlando something. Anyways, it was called Double Take. Matter of fact, let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up, man, because Double Take Eddie Griffin. There you go, right here. Early 2000. Double Take, right here. Orlando Jones. And so in this movie, there was a scene where he goes back and he thinks about everything that he's gone throughout the movie, and he starts to pick up things in the past, and he's like, oh shit, all this lines up. And so the reason I bring that up is because as I'm reading this, I'm looking back now at the past, and I'm like, damn, this is exactly the Roman Republic. This is the new Rome, man. And if you have spiritual eyes to see it, you will agree with this statement, man. Because Donald Trump and Kamala weren't grassroots people. The grassroots people, if there ever were any, like this Jill Stein lady or this Robert F. Kennedy character, they will never get chosen. The people that get chosen have been pre-selected, man. So it doesn't matter who you vote for because both of them are controlled. This was the case back then, and this is the case now. So let's continue. It says the candidates themselves at first remained distant from voters and refrained from public presentations. It says, in fact, formal speech making was at one point forbidden in an effort to focus on the policies rather than the charisma of the candidate. Now, one thing I thought about when I read that is, again, they're still using the same playbook because this is the same playbook that Biden used 4 years ago. He didn't do any interviewing, and I remember that the Republicans would be going crazy. You know, they would say that he was hiding in the basement, right? It's the same playbook, man. It's because they themselves know it, man. They can only do what they have been allowed to do, right? They can only function in a manner that they have been created, right? And these are Edomites, just like the Romans were Edomites. They can only do Edomite shit, you know? It says, but they later more than made up for time lost with habitual bribery, coercion, and empty promises. And that's exactly what's going on. Bribery is coming through the lobbying, coercion, and empty promises. You know, Trump is saying he's going to do this. Kamala is saying that they're going to do this. It's the same song and dance, man. There's nothing new under the sun, just as is mentioned in Ecclesiastes. As the practice of electoral campaigning grew in use and extent, the pool of the candidates was no longer limited to a select group with riches and high birth. Instead, many more ordinary citizens had a chance to run for office, allowing for a more equal representation in key government decisions. Maybe for a while, but that's not happening anymore. We don't see any grassroots people doing this, right? So let's continue back on to Jeremiah in the NLT. Okay, so it says, verse 6. So this is who we should be fearing. It says, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, There is none like you, for you are great, and your name is full of power. Who would not fear you, O King of nations? That title belongs to you alone. Among all the wise people of the earth and in all the kingdoms of the world, there is none like you. Doesn't matter who's in office. These people cannot do anything on their own. They're dumb, meaning that they cannot speak, and they're lame. They cannot walk. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set the bounds. So instead of us being fearful, or instead of us, instead of people, not us, but instead of people being fearful, instead of people thinking that salvation has come, I saw one headline saying that Donald Trump got elected. Now we don't need now we don't need to store food. Like what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So it says, verse 8, people who worship idols are stupid and foolish. And again, when you read this chapter, anyone, even Christians, will read this chapter and be like, yeah, I would never worship an idol. This is one verse that everyone, including Christians, will agree. People who worship idols are stupid and foolish. Like that would be a stern Christian message, man. But that's exactly what you're doing. Every damn church, I don't care what, every damn church was subtly telling their people who to vote for. I don't care how you cut it. All right, because I remember when I was going to church several years ago, I remember that pastor, we just got to make sure we vote for the right candidate who aligns. Like, get the all of these people, man, worship idols, and you're stupid and you're foolish. The things they worship are made of wood. Yeah, what is man? How are the ashes proud? What is man? It says that they bring beaten sheets of silver from Tarshish and gold from Uphaz, and they give these materials to skillful craftsmen who make their idols. Now, who are those skillful craftsmen here? The so-called small hats that run the commercials, the small hats that own the TV stations, right? And even more so, the craftsmen have workers, which are Beyonce, Kid Rock, anyone who endorses, anyone who has a part in creating this idol is also doomed for destruction, man. Because they all take a role in making this idol that our people go to, man. It says, then they dress these gods in royal blue and purple robes made by expert tailors. Fancy business suit, $10,000 watches, fake toupee. But Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is the only true power. He is the living power and the everlasting King. The whole earth trembles at his anger. The nations cannot stand up to his wrath. Don't matter who you put in there, man. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is coming in all his likeness, man. And there's utter destruction destined for this place, man. Doesn't matter whether it's Kamala the cackling or Donald Trump. It doesn't matter, man. Say this to those who worship other gods. Your so-called gods who did not make the heaven and earth will vanish from the earth and from under the heavens. That's right, man. That's exactly what's coming. Matter of fact, let's skip down here. Verse 17. Pack your bags and prepare to leave. The siege is about to begin. That's right. While everyone here is thinking that all is good, man, it doesn't matter who won. We still need to be let's get that Micah, I believe it's Micah 4 and 10. Micah 4. No. Flee Babylon. Jeremiah, Isaiah, go forth, flee Babylon. Go forth, ye, flee Babylon. Cut off the powers. Right here. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. While they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them, man. And everyone's saying peace and safety right now. This is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai says. Suddenly, I will fling out all you who live in this land. I will pour great troubles upon you, and at last you will feel my anger. That's right. The city of unwalled villages is about to feel the anger, man. Verse 19, my wound is severe and my grief is great. My sickness incurable, but I must bear it. My home is gone. No one is left to help me rebuild it. My children have been taken away, and I will never see them again. Some people have to be destroyed, man, because the concrete on the forms who are these people has already hardened. You cannot shape them. You cannot. You can show them the scriptures. You can show them proof of iconoclasm. You can show them fallacies in the Christian doctrine. They still won't get it, man. The shepherds of my people have lost their senses, All these pastors, at the pulpit telling their people who to vote for, and then going to a goddamn ditty party. They no longer seek wisdom from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore they fell completely, and their flocks are scattered. Listen, hear the terrifying roar of great armies as they roll down from the north. The towns of Judah would be destroyed and become a haunt for jackals. 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, man. I'm going to end that with that. Let's get Zechariah 13. It says, awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right? So 2/3 of our people have to be destroyed, man. And that's in the scriptures. And so what about the 1/3? Well, let's continue on. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is my power. You see, even we pray that we be of that number, but even if we survive that, we still have to be tried through the fire, because though we know who we are now, gold, though gold is better than silver, though the 1/3 is better than the 2/3, gold still has to be purified. Gold still has those impurities, man, and so that's what's coming next. So, look, it doesn't matter who won. We need to stay circumspect. We need to stay in the scriptures, and we need to fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, not Donald Trump, not Kamala and Biden on what they may do before Trump gets in office, because that's also another talking point. People are saying, oh, well, Trump's not in office yet. They can 14th Amendment him. They can do all this shit, right? No, it doesn't matter. Everything that's supposed to happen everything that's going to happen is supposed to happen, man. We don't serve a reactionary power. We serve the author from the beginning to the end. It's already been preordained. We just have to play our part to the best of our ability. I hope this lesson has been edifying, and hopefully this is the last message I put together regarding this election, man. It really is. I feel like I'm coming back and being the same dead horse, man. So, Shalom to Yakim and Yahweh. Stay strong, fight the fight, and I say shalom.